Every day thousands of tourists come here. But while some leave absolutely thrilled, others are convinced they wasted their money. So, is this hotel really worth it? Let's find out. Welcome to Grand Palladium Punta Cana. Today I arrived at the Grand Palladium Punta Cana hotel to see if everything is really as good as the ads say. Luxurious palm trees, a gorgeous beach, spacious rooms and amazing all-inclusive dining. That's what I saw in the promos, but is it really true? I'll definitely show you the grounds and the beach, we'll check out the restaurants and rooms, enjoy the picturesque sunsets on the Caribbean coast, and of course, see how the hotel entertains its guests. The hotel's rating is 4.6 on Google, 7.9 on Booking, and 4.2 on TripAdvisor. However, even such a popular hotel has its drawbacks, which can significantly affect your decision. Let's take a closer look at all the pros and cons so you can make the right choice. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and support this video with likes and comments. Thank you. The beach at Grand Palladium Punta Cana turned out to be truly magnificent. I enjoyed it every single day. While many reviews mentioned seaweed, poor cleaning, a lack of infrastructure, and no loungers or umbrellas, the reality was quite different. The beach does have umbrellas and loungers. Sure, there could be more of them for the number of guests, but everything essential is there. The beach itself is beautiful. White sand, palm trees, turquoise water, just like a postcard. It was easy to get to the beach, just a few minutes walk from the room. I don't know why people write negative reviews, but when I was there, the beach was clean and well maintained, I'd even say perfect. If you've already been to Grand Palladium Punta Cana, write in the comments what you liked and what you didn't, I'd love to discuss it. The grounds of Grand Palladium Punta Cana left me with mixed feelings. On one hand, they are truly spacious, well maintained and very beautiful. It was a pleasure to walk around. I especially liked the pool area and the swim-up bar where you could relax with a cocktail in hand. The gym was also excellent, modern equipment and a large space. The hotel's location is very convenient, it's easy to reach the beach and other areas. On the other hand, the hotel itself is clearly outdated, and you can feel it in the details. Tiles in the pools were broken in some places, and the paint on the buildings was sloppily applied. Everything clearly needs renovation. In the morning, almost all poolside loungers were already taken, with guests reserving them with towels from early hours. Another downside was the overly pushy staff constantly trying to sell extra services, which spoiled the relaxed vibe. Despite these drawbacks, the hotel has solid infrastructure, plenty of bars and relaxation areas that create a cozy resort feel. After strolling around the grounds with all their pros and cons, I was naturally ready to eat. And here came one of the nicest surprises of the entire stay. I like the food at Grand Palladium Punta Cana, but it came with pros and cons. The food was indeed varied and tasty, especially with the wide selection of dishes and drinks. Every day there was something new to try, from fresh fruits to hot meat and vegetarian dishes. I particularly enjoyed the a la carte restaurants, especially La Lola. However, booking a table was nearly impossible. They were always full. It felt like without tips, the staff would just ignore your requests. Restaurants like Sumptuary and Bamboo were disappointing. The food was bland, and the service was mediocre. Also, despite promises, we were never served shrimp or lobster at any meal. Desserts looked tempting but often didn't live up to the expectation. At lunch, there were sometimes lines, especially during peak hours. But there was a great food truck on the grounds where you could grab a quick bite without waiting. Overall, the food and restaurants were good, and dining was one of the best aspects of the stay. Yes, the food here truly brings joy. But once you return to your room, the fun ends. My experience with the rooms at Grand Palladium Punta Cana was, to put it mildly, disappointing. At check-in, the receptionist said they'd give us an upgraded room and asked us to sign a form. It turned out later this was a trick. The room was terrible. It was old, worn out, smelled of dampness, and had many issues. I saw cockroaches in the bathroom multiple times, which was horrifying. The lights didn't work in all areas, and the air conditioner was unreliable. Sometimes too cold, sometimes not working at all. Early check-in before 3 p.m. was impossible, even for an extra fee. When we finally got in, the cleaning was superficial and poor. Adjusting the water temperature in the shower was impossible. Boiling hot in the morning, nearly freezing at night. The room looked like it hadn't been renovated in years, everything was shabby and outdated. I expected much more from a hotel of this level. It felt like no one was taking care of the room conditions. Next time I wouldn't risk it and would immediately decline any offers at the reception. So my advice, don't sign anything right away. The situation with the rooms is clear, definitely not relaxing. But what about the staff? Honestly, I wasn't impressed by the staff at Grand Palladium Punta Cana. On the one hand, many employees were truly friendly and tried to help. Some waiters and bartenders smiled, were attentive and created a pleasant atmosphere. But on the other hand, the service was extremely inconsistent. Sometimes I encountered rude and indifferent staff who made you feel like a bother. One particularly unpleasant moment was when I was threatened with unpaid charges at checkout, even though the services were initially labeled as free. It was stressful and left a bad final impression. Overall, the hotel seemed understaffed. You could feel it in the service quality. Sometimes even basic requests took forever. It was clear that the service level didn't match a 5-star standard. Despite the generally good attitude of some staff, the hotel clearly lacks proper organization and quality control. After all the issues with the staff, I didn't expect anything good. But surprisingly, the evening shows and entertainment turned out to be quite decent, though not without surprises. I really liked the entertainment at Grand Palladium Punta Cana. There were colorful and diverse shows in the evenings that were genuinely fun to watch. The atmosphere at the events was always lively and cheerful. I also enjoyed the nightclub. Good music, active crowd, everything well organized. The entertainment for adults was well thought out and kept things interesting. You could also book city tours, which added to the vacation experience. However, there were some unpleasant moments. The club staff would literally chase me down every day, pushing me to participate in some activities. It got annoying quickly. The most disappointing part was when my child was promised a birthday celebration that never happened. That kind of treatment was very upsetting. Aside from that, the resort's entertainment program was truly good and varied. My all-inclusive stay at Grand Palladium Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic left me with a lot of negative impressions. Of course, it had its positives. Beautiful grounds, tasty and varied food, and a rich evening entertainment program. But unfortunately, these positives were often overshadowed by obvious negatives, especially regarding rooms and service. The beach was poorly cleaned from seaweed, and the rooms were old, neglected, and had bugs. Some staff were friendly, but others were rude and indifferent. The hotel clearly needs renovations and better management. At this point, it doesn't live up to its 5-star rating. Before booking, I suggest carefully weighing all the pros and cons. Friends, the final decision is always yours. Only you can decide whether this hotel is worth it. And while you're thinking, I recommend checking out these other videos about Dominican hotels. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss our next reviews. That's it for me. See you in the next hotel.